There's a guy in Ohio who became a millionaire by age 52. He never earned more than $60,000 a year, never started a business, never went viral, never caught a lucky break. He just did one thing that almost nobody can actually do. He stayed bored for 30 years. This sounds like a setup for terrible advice. It's not. It's a setup for why the only wealth-building strategy that actually works at scale is the same strategy that makes you feel like an idiot while everyone around you seems to be winning faster. Let's talk about what getting rich slowly actually looks like when you remove the Instagram captions. In 1995, two groups of investors put $10,000 into the stock market. Group 1 checked their accounts once a year. Group 2 checked daily. Same money, same funds, same 30-year period. By 2025, Group 1 had $670,000 on average. Group 2 had $490,000. Same portfolio, worse outcome, just from looking. This is the first thing nobody tells you about patient investing. The more you pay attention, the worse you do. Because your brain is not built for long-term thinking. It's built to notice threats and react. And modern investing apps have turned your net worth into a push notification. Every uptick feels like confirmation. Every downtick feels like emergency. Neither matters. Both destroy you. Here's the actual math of compound interest without the motivational soundtrack. You invest $400 a month starting at 27. For the first 5 years, you contribute $24,000 total. Your account grows to $30,000. You made $6,000. That's 2 months' rent. Next 5 years, another $24,000 in. Your balance hits $76,000. You made $28,000. That's a used car. Next 5 years, same contribution. You're at $147,000. You made $75,000. That's starting to feel real. But here's the part they don't show in the charts. During year 7, the market crashes 20%. You lose $14,000 in 6 weeks. That's more than you contributed all year. Your instinct says sell. The math says keep buying. Most people sell. Because the emotional cost of watching your account bleed is higher than the intellectual understanding that markets recover. They always show you the final number. They never show you the 12 moments where it felt like the dumbest decision you ever made. Let's fast forward to year 15. You're 42 years old. You've been doing this for 15 years. Your portfolio is at $260,000. Your college roommate just made $100,000 on a crypto play that took him 8 weeks. You did everything right. He did everything wrong. He won faster. This is the actual test, not whether you understand compounding, whether you can psychologically survive other people getting lucky while you're being disciplined. Because the market doesn't reward you for effort, it rewards you for time. And time feels like losing when everyone else is scoring. There's a Fidelity study that analyzed their best-performing accounts over a 20-year period. The top performers weren't day traders or expert stock pickers. They were people who forgot they had accounts. Literally, people who opened a retirement fund, set up auto contributions, and then lost the login. Dead people also performed well because they couldn't panic sell. The best investment strategy is the one where you're either bored enough or literally unable to interfere. Everything else is just your emotions trying to optimize a system that doesn't care about your emotions. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. The average investor returns about 4% per year. The market itself returns about 10%. The difference is behavior. People buying high because it feels safe, selling low because it feels dangerous, chasing trends, avoiding dips. 6% lost to being human. Over 30 years, that's the difference between 400,000 and 1.2 million. Same contributions, different results, just because one person could tolerate boredom and the other couldn't. And this is the thing that breaks people. Because getting rich slowly doesn't feel like progress. It feels like nothing. Your account grows by $11,000 in a year, and it doesn't change your life at all. You're still going to work, still budgeting groceries, still driving the same car. The number goes up, but your day-to-day stays identical for years, sometimes decades. And then, one day you're 56 and you check the balance and it says 900,000, and you think, when did that happen? It happened while you weren't looking, which is the only way it happens. Let me show you the real timeline without the highlight reel. Years 1 through 7, excitement fades into frustration. The balance grows slower than you expected. You read articles about people retiring at 35. You're not even close. Years 8 through 14, doubt. The market crashes at least once, maybe twice. You lose years of gains in weeks. Everyone around you has an opinion. Most of those opinions involve selling. Years 23 through 30, numbness. You stop checking. The auto transfers happen. Life gets busy. The account becomes background noise. Years 23 through 30, surprise. The portfolio is suddenly large. You're not sure when it crossed $500,000. The compounding kicked in while you were ignoring it. The pattern is always the same. Suffer early, ignore middle, benefit late. But most people bail during suffer or doubt because slow doesn't feel like winning. It feels like being left behind in an economy that rewards speed. Here's the part where I'm supposed to tell you that anyone can do this, that it's just about discipline and sacrifice. I'm not going to tell you that, because getting rich slowly only works if you have 30 years, and not everyone does. Some people are starting at 45. Some people have medical debt. Some people are supporting family. Some people cannot afford to optimize for a future that might not come. This isn't a moral judgment, it's just math. The strategy requires time and stability. Not everyone has both. But here's the other truth. Most people who say they can't save actually mean they can't save without discomfort, and that's different. That's not a resource problem, that's a priorities problem. $300 a month is $10 a day. That's 2 coffees, 3 streaming services, 1 impulse purchase. I'm not saying cut everything. I'm saying the gap between impossible and uncomfortable is smaller than most people admit. And that gap compounds. $10 a day invested over 30 years at 8% is $450,000. That won't make you rich, but it will make you not poor in a way that matters when you're 65. There's a Warren Buffett line about the market transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. It gets quoted constantly because it's true and because it's useless. Everyone knows patience wins. Almost nobody can execute patience. Because patience isn't a strategy, it's endurance. It's watching everyone else make money faster and choosing to keep doing the boring thing anyway. It's surviving crashes without selling. It's contributing during recessions. It's ignoring noise for decades. The market doesn't test your intelligence. It tests your ability to do nothing while everything around you screams to do something. And most people fail that test. Not because they're dumb, because they're human. So, here's what getting rich slowly actually requires. You need to opt out of the emotional economy while still living in it. You need to ignore comparison while social media is built to maximize comparison. You need to think in decades while the entire financial system is designed to make you think in days. You need to accept that the correct choice will feel wrong most of the time, and the reward is that eventually, when you're older, you'll have money. Not exotic vacation money, not quit your job money, just enough money that money stops being the main character in your life, which sounds almost insulting when you frame it that way. But here's the reality. Most people spend their entire lives stressed about money and end up with nothing anyway. They chase returns, they optimize, they hustle, and they retire broke because they couldn't tolerate being bored long enough for compounding to work. So maybe the real question isn't whether getting rich slowly is possible. Maybe it's whether you're psychologically capable of doing something that works even when it feels like it isn't.